Japan has a problem. The country is getting older, its working age population is shrinking, and businesses across Japan are struggling to find enough people to fill their jobs. But something else is happening at the same time. In October 2025, Japan had more than 2.57 million foreign workers, the highest number ever recorded. And according to OECD, some estimates suggest Japan could need as many as 6.9 million foreign workers by 2040. So, what's going on? Why does Japan need foreign workers? And if demand continues, could countries like India become much bigger source of workers for Japan? To understand what's happening, we have to start with Japan's population. Japan has one of the oldest populations in the world. For decades, the country has been dealing with falling birth rates and aging population. And that creates a problem that goes far beyond population numbers. Because when fewer younger people enter the workforce, there are fewer people available to replace those who retire. The result, a shrinking workforce. And for businesses, that means something very simple. There aren't enough people to do all the job that needs to be done. The OECD described Japan's demographic changes and labor shortages as major structural changes for the country's economy. But Japan didn't immediately solve this problem by bringing in large number of foreign workers. Instead, the country spent years trying other approaches. Japan has increased participation among groups already living in the country, including women and older workers. It has also focused on productivity and automation. And Japan is famous for its investment in technology and robotics. But there is a limit to how much technology can replace people. A robot can help manufacture a product, but somebody still needs to care for an elderly person. Someone needs to work in a restaurant, someone needs to build a house, needs to work in a factory, and someone needs to harvest crops. And this is where the foreign worker story begins. Japan's foreign workforce has been growing rapidly. In October 2025, the country recorded 2,57,137 foreign workers. That's an increase of 11.7% in just 1 year. And the number of businesses employing foreign workers also reached a record more than 3,71,000 establishments. But here is something important. Japan isn't simply bringing in people from anywhere and putting them into any job. The country has created specific systems for foreign workers. One of the most important is specified skilled worker system. There are also professional and technical pathways, including the engineer, specialist in humanities, and international service categories. And the numbers show that professional and technical workers are becoming increasingly important. In 2025, that category reached more than 865,000 workers, making it Japan's largest foreign worker residency status category. So, this isn't just a story about low skilled labor. Japan increasingly needs skilled and professional workers too. So, where are these workers coming from? In 2025, Vietnam was the largest source with more than 6,05,000 workers. China followed with around 4,32,000 and Philippines had about 2,61,000. These numbers tell us something important. Japan's foreign workforce isn't evenly distributed around the world. Some countries have already built a strong connection with Japan's labor market, and then there is India. India is one of the world's largest populations. It has huge working age population and every year millions of Indians enter the workforce. So you might expect India to be one of Japan's biggest sources of foreign workers. But it isn't, and that raises a very interesting question. Why? This is where things get more complicated. Having a large population doesn't automatically means having a large presence in another country's labor market. Language matters, skills matter, recruitment systems matter, qualifications matter, and perhaps most importantly, people need to know that these opportunities actually exist. Japan itself recognized that attracting foreign workers isn't simply about creating visa pathways. The OECD says Japan needs to improve awareness abroad and help applicants navigate the complexity of its different schemes. So the opportunity may exist, but accessing it is another question. And this brings us back to Japan, because even with more than 2.5 million foreign workers, Japan's labor problem isn't solved. The OECD says some estimates suggest Japan could need around 6.9 million foreign workers by 2040. That's roughly 4.3 million more than the 2025 level, and according to that estimate, Japan could still face a gap of around 1 million workers even if the potential supply of foreign workers reach expected levels. Think about what that means. Japan isn't simply looking for few thousand extra workers. The country may need millions. But here's where we need to be careful. It would be wrong to say Japan is opening its doors to everyone. That's not what the evidence shows. Japan's foreign worker population has reached record levels, but the OECD still describes the foreign population as relatively low from an international perspective. Japan is creating new pathways, it's trying to attract workers, but many of those pathways are designed around specific skills and labor shortages. So Japan isn't necessarily changing its entire immigration philosophy. It may simply be adapting because its economy needs workers, and that distinction matters. So why does Japan need foreign workers? The answer is bigger than immigration. It's about demographics, it's about an aging population, it's about a shrinking workforce, and it's about businesses that still need people to keep operating. Japan has tried to respond through higher participation, productivity, technology, and automation, but foreign workers are becoming increasingly important part of that solution, and the numbers suggest that isn't going away. Japan had a record 2.57 million foreign workers in 2025, and some estimates suggest it could need 6.9 million by 2040. But here is the question we haven't answered yet. If Japan needs millions of foreign workers, what kind of workers does Japan actually want? And could Indians become a much bigger part of that workforce? That's what we'll investigate next. This is Research Room. We research, we investigate, you discover.